In Acts chapter 14, Paul and Barnabas were preaching and teaching in Iconium. In that town, there was a plot to take their life, and so they fled to a town called Lystra. Interestingly enough, God was with them through both of those events, good and bad. And God helped them miraculously to give healing through His Spirit to a man who was born with the inability to walk. Paul and Barnabas looked at him and spoke to him, prayed over him, and he was able to rise up and walk. The people at Lystra had been ready to kill him, but all of a sudden they declared Paul and Barnabas to be gods. Paul, they said, was Hermes, the messenger, since he was the main speaker, and Barnabas they believed to be Zeus. Acts 14:11 and 12 said, when the crowd saw what Paul had done, they shouted, the gods have come down in human form. Hermes was the god of good luck, good fortune. No doubt as they get ready to bring a sacrifice to Paul and Barnabas, they're thinking, it's our lucky day. The gods have come down. And finally, at last, we're going to have the lavish privilege of the gods themselves pouring into our lives whatever we desire. Paul and Barnabas looked at that moment and they refused to take credit for it. In fact, it says that they shouted out, men, why are you doing these things? They wanted to worship Paul and Barnabas. They were preparing a sacrifice. They said, we also are men of like nature with you. And we bring you good news that you should turn from these vain things to the living God, who made the heaven and the earth and the sea and all that is in them. For He did good by giving you the rains of heaven and the fruitful seasons, satisfying your hearts with the food of gladness. Paul and Barnabas have their way in this moment of saying to these people, hey, stop attributing the great things that God brings in your life to some kind of coincidence, or maybe your own influence as a powerful person, or even the wrong source completely, in this case, false gods. Paul and Barnabas said, there is a God in heaven who controls the things that happen in our lives and has the ability to bless us. And he brings the rains and He brings us food. And He's so amazing. It's interesting that they point people to a God who cares for them. They redirect their steps to truth and to foundational reality. In a day when everything seems so much in upheaval and uncertainty, we have the opportunity to direct others to a God who is foundationally true, who loves us, who brings us good things. Sometimes when God does great things for us, He uses us, it's easy to take the credit, forget to give Him glory, and to somehow even think it was a coincidence. So here's a challenge. This next week, sometime, one day, how about taking a few moments and sitting down and saying, God, I just want to look back over the last year, even including pandemic and all the upheaval of the world, and just write down the good things that have happened in your life because a great and wonderful God is in your life and loves you immensely. When you start doing that, when I start doing that, it changes our perspective completely. As we do that, we're going to see that God's extraordinary grace turns ordinary moments into powerful praise moments. Paul and Barnabas weren't satisfied to take credit for themselves. They wanted everything in their lives to reflect back to the God who is so good to us. It's a great assignment for them, and it's a great assignment for us. May that be our call this week as we take on that homework assignment. I'm Pastor Tim. It's great to be with you in this journey through the book of Acts. God bless you.